fry them up. Oh yeah. Hey everybody, this is Fry. So today we are going to talk about what are the 5 best zombie cards in Plants vs. Zombies Heroes. This is actually really useful to know, not just a fun fact, because if you have some extra sparks and you are planning on crafting some cards, try to follow this list starting with number 1 through number 5. Those would be very useful cards to be crafting in this game, and once you get them and you start using them, you'll definitely see how powerful they are. Alright, here they are, Zombies Top 5. Defensive End is such a strong card. First of all, look at the stats. It costs 6, and its stats are actually better than 6 attack and 6 health. Having 5 health and an armor is actually better than having 6 health. Just because if you have 5 health and an armor, you're really immune to a series of small attacks. Really not going to do much to the defensive end. Second of all, look at its ability. Most of the hard removal cards that can basically remove a big minion cost 5. For example, Squash and Doomshroom. Would be cards that could remove this, and if you play this right on turn 6, they're actually not able to play those cards for another turn. And even if they do spend tricks to remove defensive end, they're going to be spending all of their sun on that removal card, and the rest of the cards that you have on the board will be able to keep on attacking and take over the game that way. This ability also messes up a lot of plant strategies. For example, Repeat Moss. As you all know, there's a lot of Captain Combustible decks that basically rely on getting Repeat Moss and then a series of tricks, including Captain Combustible superpower, to basically burst down your opponent kind of all in one turn. And pulling off a Repeat Moss combo while your opponent has defensive end on the field is obviously going to be extremely difficult and extremely sun draining. But wait, there's more! Defensive End is also a sports card, so it gives it sports synergy. But wait, there's even more! Defensive End is also a Gargantuar, which is one of its biggest abilities, is the fact that it actually benefits from Gargantuar synergies. So if you have a Gargologist on the field, let's say, come into turn 4, you'll actually be able to play a discounted defensive end for only 4 brains. It also benefits from cards like Wizard Gargantuar, which will then give defensive end Bullseye. So now it's a 6 attack, 5 health armored Bullseye card with its ability. Also, Smashing Garg will give this Garg a Frenzy. So defensive end is one of the best cards in the game, and in my opinion is the best event card in the game. So if you are looking to craft event cards that you missed in the past, I would definitely say go for defensive end. Number 4 is Barrel of Deadbeard. Now, this card is actually very difficult for novice players to use, and it, just face value, it doesn't look that great. When you play it on the field, it is a 0-1, so you have to make sure that you play your Barrel of Deadbeard in front of your opponent's minions. When it does, of course, it explodes, does 1 damage to each of your opponent's minions and your own minions, and then it spawns Captain Deadbeard, which has 4 attack and 3 health, which is actually really good stats for a 2-cost card, or just coming from a 2-cost card. This card is really useful for removing all of your opponent's little tiny minions. For example, if your opponent is running a lot of mushrooms and things like that in his deck, which is actually a pretty powerful strategy, coming in with a Barrel of Deadbeards or 2 is just going to totally ruin their luck. Barrel of Deadbeards is best comboed with this card right over here, the Fireworks Zombie. A lot of times you can't really get your Barrel of Deadbeard to get activated by one of your opponent's creatures, but if you put Barrel of Deadbeards on the field and then you come with Fireworks Zombie does 1 damage to all the minions on the field, including the Deadbeard. Then the Deadbeard explodes and does 1 damage to all the minions on the field. So not only is this kind of like a little mini built-in chickening, that you're doing 2 damage to all of your opponent's minions, but then you are also left with the 4 attack, 3 health Deadbeard and the 3 attack, and it will actually have 2 health, Fireworks Zombie. That Barrel of Deadbeards obviously works better when you have 4 of them in your deck. If you only have 1 or 2, it's probably not useful and it's going to be difficult to pull off. But having 4 of them will make these big chain reaction explosions, and yeah, this is just a really great card all in all. Number 3 is Teleport. If you take a quick look at the bottom when Teleport is described, it just says, feels like cheating, and that is what this card definitely feels like. Teleport allows you to play a zombie during the trick phase. So when you play the zombie, it is impossible for the plants to react to it, and this can make some really major problems for your opponent in the game. Great combos with teleport are Vampire. This can be done by Immorticia. If you will teleport a Vampire into a small minion, the Vampire will devour it and grow and keep on frenzying through, and especially if your opponent has team up on the board, the Vampire will be able to devour the first one, grow, devour the second one, grow, and it can really become a really strong card with very little investment since you're able to teleport it in. As opposed to if you put a Vampire on the board without using teleport, usually it will just get removed by the time it can even do that attack by Berry Blast or something like that. Just another example of what teleport works well with is Gargologist. Gargologist is a card also, when you put it on the field, it discounts all your Gargantuars, but usually, especially if you're playing Gargologist early in the game, you can't actually play any Gargantuars until the next turn. So one of the best ways to protect Gargologist is just to teleport it in. There are so many good combinations in this game with teleport, and I would say that the best two are the next two cards that are coming up on the list, so let's just go right into number 2. Let's just consider if there was a card in the game that costed 3, it had literally 2 attack and 6 health. That card would be so overpowered already. Really all you need for this card to be good is for one minion to die while it's in your hand. Especially if you hold Valkyrie in your hand for long enough until several of your minions die. This card, which only costs 3, will have 6 attack and 6 health, sometimes even 10 attack and 6 health, and if you're really patient, it can have 34 attack and 6 health. Valkyrie is best used with teleport, so for Professor Brainstorm, one of the more powerful decks in the game is basically waiting until all of your little minions die while Valkyrie's charging up in your hand, and then teleport Valkyrie and basically kill your opponent all in one turn. This is called the OTK Valkyrie, the one-turn kill Valkyrie. And I would really not be surprised if this card receives some kind of nerf in upcoming updates. For example, even if Valkyrie costed 5, it would actually still be a pretty decent card. That's how great Valkyrie is. And number 1 is Trickster. Trickster, in my opinion, is the best card in the game. Maybe Pineclone is better. Trickster starts off costing 10, which is a lot, but of course every single time you play a trick, the Trickster will cost 1 less. So don't even bother putting Trickster in a deck that doesn't have at least 20 tricks in it. Otherwise the Trickster is just going to be too expensive and is really not going to be that useful. Right when you play Trickster, it does a bonus attack, so that's 6 damage. That's almost a third of your opponent's health right off the bat. Then if the Trickster, which has 6 attack, attacks your opponent even 1 time, now most of their health is gone. One of the most useful ways of using Trickster is to teleport it in. When you teleport the Trickster in, it's basically a guaranteed 12 damage as long as your opponent's block meter isn't looking happy. Trickster is the most powerful finisher in the game. There are very few plant decks that can really keep up well with Trickster decks. If you are looking for a zombie card to craft, I would say Trickster is the one. Get 4 copies of Trickster and put together some of the Trickster decks. You can find them in my channel here on YouTube. Alright guys, so that was the top 5 zombie cards in Plants vs. Zombies Heroes. I hope you enjoyed, and leave a comment below what you think are the top 5 cards in the game, and hopefully I will make some more videos like these. Peace! This is Fry. Do a 1,000? Okay, let's do it 1,000. There you go. Come on, give us something good. We got 4 sea shrooms. What are the chances of that in a 1,000 pack? Got 4. Anyway, here it comes. Here it comes. Look at all these uncommons. Chill out on the uncommons. We need some legendaries. Let's go. 10, 100 gem packs. No. Got Ghost. Yay. Juggernaut. Woohoo! We like the first one. Come on, give us some good stuff. Give us some good stuff. Stop raring. We need super rares and legendaries. Here's a super rare. Brain Anna, not bad. Fire Rose. Oh, Portal Technician. I don't have a lot of those. There's Valk. And Coffee Zombie. I don't have 4 of those either. Here comes the legendaries. What's in the box? Oh, yes. Got 2 great zucchinis. What's going on, Plank Walker? What's going on here? What is going on? This was a great haul. We got 3 legendaries and 5 super rares from this. Oh! That's right. That is right. Give this man a legend. He got 3. He got 3 legends for 3,000 stars. 1,000 stars a drop, man. That is what I'm talking about.